Hey, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Tonight is December 31st, 2024. Hit that promo, Leo.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am.
Hi, everybody. We're so happy you're here. Tonight is a New Year's Eve, 2024. Wow. So many feelings. Anyway, we're so happy you're here. Thank you for joining us. We thought about, should we do the show? Should we not do the show? People are probably doing things, but you can always watch it in rerun. I am in New Jersey at Judy's. And so I'm going to do it from here. And we have so much to cover, believe it or not. So I want to thank Leo Rodriguez, my sidekick, for the entire year, who has brought so much technical knowledge, expertise, and love to the show. Thank you, Leo. I would be
Because I love
love
you.
you. I love it. Thank you for the promos. Thank you for always talking me down off the ledge. Thank you for everything you do. I don't know what the show would be without you. I do know what it would
Thank,
be. Just me going live on Facebook, which was
thank you
great.
for letting me be your sidekick. I was telling somebody the other day just how you used to do it. And I used to just type in from home the websites and stuff, and how it blossomed into this
Yeah,
wonderful
and
place to be every Tuesday night for me. I love it. It's
I love it too. And it's really like such an amazing collaboration that we have here. So
I missed you last
seriously,
week for Christmas at the Rakowskis. I posted and stuff, but I missed watching it with you.
I know that was so much. I hope people got to watch that last week. That was incredible. Leo has a little bit of a cough, poor baby. So sending you lots of love, Leo. Man, look
It's
who's
flu
checked in.
season. Make sure you get vaccinated. Take care of yourselves, friends.
Yes, that is true. This is a good, and now they have the COVID/flu shot. And people have said to me this year, "Oh my God, are we still in COVID?" I said, "We're gonna be in COVID forever because
You
now
know,
it's
I
just,
used I usually don't get the flu shot, but I'm realizing now that I'm a man of a certain age.
ah yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
I
I know.
should be getting the flu shot.
Thank you for reminding me. I need to get mine. Mandar, can you believe Mandar's checked in? Mandar, we
Man,
haven't seen you in so long. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Hi, Mandar, trick magnet. And Brian Johnson, my friend from high school who I adore. Hi, Brian Johnson. He's from Stoneham, Massachusetts, and
Hi, Brian.
adorable grandchildren. Now he's got 3. So happy
Wow.
new, I know, happy New Year to you. So people get a clue, flu, and oh, that's cute, Mandar. Get a clue shot. Oh, I love that.
That's
Michael Bo, the
in
sexy Michael Bo.
advertising.
Michael, in front of God and all these people, I an open invitation to you, my friend. Anytime you want to come on the show, Michael's always doing great stuff, and he is one of the most effervescent human beings, and just has such a love for performing. So, Michael and Ben, hello, Ben Goldberg, his sidekick. Please, guys, just know that open ended, okay? Whenever you want. Um, so so let me check. Lots of people are saying Happy New Year so
Yeah,
far. And lots
a
of
lot of
people are
family
watching the
signing in.
show. I am watching this on 2 separate devices, so that's why. Okay, so we have a lot to cover tonight. So here's what we want to first thing I want to cover. Number one thing I want to cover is our friend Michael Rizzo. Been my friend for many, many years. He was a police officer, an EMT, and he was the recipient of of two gifts of life. The first one was tissue. He had an arm injury, and because of tissue, someone donated tissue. He was able to have this reconstructive surgery, and he was able to continue to do his job. couple years later, he was diagnosed with a heart disease, a debilitating heart disease, and needed a heart transplant and had a heart transplant in 2017, I believe. I wrote it down. Yeah, 2017, 2016. And 2017, a year later, he started donating his time uh, and his love to many organizations. And now he and his partner Ed, Dr. Eddie, are in Pasadena as we speak because tomorrow they're going to be in the Rose Bowl parade. How exciting is that?
The kid, we used to camp out on the parade
Did
route,
you?
and yeah, as a little kid, several times, my cousins, me and my mom and dad, they take us all down there and be in blankets and watch them. They're truly beautiful, and it's amazing that Michael Rizzo. I don't. Do our friends remember who Michael Rizzo is? To us, I know that he was a medical person that helped at 9/11. I know he's been on our 9/11 shows.
Yeah, he was an EMT he was a police officer for many years and then an EMT, and he was on the scene at 9/11. He was on the scene helping out, and so
Big hero.
yeah, big hero and sweetheart, just a lovely, lovely human being. He and Dr. Eddie are great friends with Jeffrey and Stephen, who we love, who are moving to Oklahoma. So they're leaving Jersey. I know, because Stephen's mom lives in
Okay.
Oklahoma. So
Homa.
we're,
Okay. Homa.
oh,
Okay.
right.
Homa.
I know. So we're going to
Calm
miss
down.
them very
Calm down.
much, but we'll be able to connect through the show and all kinds of things. So Michael Rizzo, we want to shout out to Michael Rizzo. He is on I wrote it down, the One Legacy Donate Life float for the Rose Bowl parade, and it's the 6th float. So the parade starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, which will mean 8 a.m. Pacific, right? And they're the 6th float. So you may see Michael. Hopefully you will see Michael and Eddie. And thank you, Michael, because Michael has done so much volunteer work for the One Legacy donor, all kinds of anything that has to do with donating organs, donating anything. I mean, it's just like this huge world of wonder. And how I saw a sign yesterday on the subway that I almost took a picture of it. It said, if a life dies and it is not signed up as a donor, 7 other lives die. And that really hit me. I was like, wow. So if you are someone like, because of Michael, I signed up as a donor many years ago. I was like, oh, why not? I mean, but the point is that everybody should have that on their license. And it's so easy when you go to you have right. When
I
you
don't
go to
know if
renew
they
your
want my parts, but hey.
that's how I feel. But nonetheless, it's a very important thing. And our friend Judith Chusid, Dr. Judith, which I think we should have on in the new
Her
year,
daughter.
her daughter just had a transplant, kidney and pancreas. So think about that. That's incredible. So thank you to everybody that has put donor on their license, and so that we can continue to be of service in this world, whether we're here or not. Mandar,
You put up one of the articles.
oh, thank you, Mandar. That's wonderful. The One Legacy Donate Life. That's fabulous. Thank you so much. Andy Prasky has joined us. Happy New Year, Maria and Leo.
Hi,
Love you guys, he says. So tonight, what we're going to do is we have our very sweet friend, Adrian Christian, who is going to join us in a few minutes.
I thought I'd remind you, since we didn't we'll talk about the calendar, but I thought I'd remind you that.
Yes, please. Oh, let's look at who Adrian Christian is. And he is famous for being Mr. February in our 2023, right?
This year's.
This year, 2024? No,
No, I mean
2023, I think. Because this
the years are
year,
running together.
yeah.
Let me go through my library of
Oh,
calendars.
yeah. Geez, I thought it was 2023. I don't know. We'll look at it. But anyway, he's famous for being Mr. February with his beautiful roses and chocolates. I want to say it's 2023. Oh my God. And who is this? Who might this be? This is
Mhm.
Corey Ellers, our friend Corey Ellers. She is Miss December 2024. So, and her birthday, believe it or not, was Christmas Day. So
Wow.
happy birthday, sweetheart. We love her. She's in Boston right now, enjoying a little downtime. She so sweet. She came when I did my show in Boston at the at Club Cafe. She came all the way out there, rented an Airbnb
Oh,
just to see my show. Can you believe that? How cool is that? So, but anyway, one of our calendar boys is joining us tonight, Adrian Christian. He's going to join us in a little while. And we're going to go through the year. And we lost a lot of amazing artists and wonderful
if
people. So we want to
if
talk
you
about
need a calendar for next year, still, if you're running behind, as some of my artist friends do, we still have calendars.
we thank you, Leo. So we have 2025 calendars. They're amazing. And you are welcome to order one. You can either come to any of my jobs Monday at Stonewall, Wednesday at the Duplex, and Friday and Saturday at Brandy's. What are you going to flash something? Whoa, that's Mr. January, Kelvin Moon Lowe of Broadway fame. There he is. How cute is he? It's the Nothing But the Apron calendar. So everybody is naked except for the apron. Well, they're wearing nothing but the apron. So you can see that how you see it. But anyway, so if you want calendars, they're 12. And if you need me to send it out to you, add $4 for shipping and handling. So anyway, oh my God, speaking of, Dominic Pupa has joined us. I am 2025. No, sir. I'm sorry, ma'am. You were Mr. December 2022. Am I right? Shameless. He was shameless in that. But you were, I
There-
think he originated the role of Mr.
of
December.
December. Oh, yes, he did.
You did
I think he
originate
wants
the role.
another shot though, since he's become so svelte and skinny.
I know. Mandar,
Let's
you're
him on the
always
score.
welcome to be in our calendar. I mean, I think though, if Mandar does the calendar, he should have like chicks around him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he is Mandar Chick Magnet. That would be hysterical. Bobby Belfry's joined us. Bobby Belfry's birthday was the other day. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
little
baby.
Bobby. Oh my God, we love Bobby Belfry. He's so cute and so talented, right? Bobby's so talented and
Oh,
does my
I know.
favorite version of Sondheim being alive I've ever heard in my
As
life.
his
It's
voice is just
stunning.
so velvety. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, it's
I love
beautiful.
going when I visit you guys, going to sit and listen to him sing.
Yeah, Bobby's great. So we're there Saturday nights. All right, so here's what we want to do. This what Leo and I have been talking, and also Adrian. That's why Adrian he was on. I think he closed the year out with us last year, if I'm not mistaken, or started the year with us. But because Adrian has this beautiful way about him of being spiritual and just kind of calms everybody down, and has just a beautiful way of looking at the world. So he's also an amazing singer, artist, actor, podcaster now, has his own podcast. And so it's just nice to be um what did I hit just now? Hold on a second. I just hit the wrong thing.
Dominic, you are not the new king, please.
I know, Dominic. Jeez. All right, hold on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my Maria. Okay. She had a technical difficulty. She will be back in momentarily, I believe. Since we're going to talk about um, those that have RIP. Oh, there she is. Good. There you are.
Bam, I'm back. I don't
Hold
know
on.
what got
Hold
hit
on.
here.
We got to fix this. The hierarchy's a little messed up here. Hold on a second.
Oh,
There we go.
all right. Oh,
There we
beautiful.
go. You've
Thank
got to be there. That's the hostess side.
I eliminated Maria from this podcast. I'm the captain now. Oh my, I knew it. I knew that was Dom. I knew that. Rick, Sudi Rick Caritas has joined us. My Maria Brooks and Dunn. Now, Rick, was Mr. I want to say Mr. June 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Very sexy. Also in the kitchen. So calendars, calendars, calendars. We have them. Please, I only ordered a certain amount this year. We kept it. We said we're not reordering. Leo and I usually end up reordering. We're not reordering this year. What we have is what we have. I ordered 100. When they're gone, they're gone. So please let me know if you
Mm-hmm.
need one. I can leave it for you somewhere too, or mail it out to you, whatever you like. Okay. So here's the thing. As we were talking about, Leo and I every couple of days would be like, "Guess what? Did you hear? Did you hear who died? Did you hear who passed?" So many amazing people passed this year, and we wanted to kind of talk about that. Now,
Can
what?
I give a shout out to two personal people first? I have some.
Please go for it.
Every uh, every year, for my birthday, I have an aunt that was my Sagittarian, and so this year, though, earlier this year, she passed. This is my Auntie D.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's adorable, isn't she?
Oh my
And
gosh, I can tell her spirit through that picture.
stubborn Sagittarian, just like me,
I love
and
it.
she was always very loving to me, and I miss her. And me and my cousins have been talking, just little text of memory. And then there's one more that I have to share, and this one, you know how we have special animal friends, Maria?
Yes.
So many years ago, 25 years ago, my buddy Doug bought a little puppy called Buddha. This is like 20 years ago. I mean, it's funny how animals get me more
Oh,
than
I know.
humans
Judy,
sometimes.
don't get Judy going on animals.
Oh, but this is Buddha's face, and Buddha went just a few
Oh
weeks
my
ago.
goodness.
And my only regret is I didn't get a chance to go back up and visit him again, but uh, he's up there in heaven now, across the Rainbow Bridge, and those are my two special shout outs for
Let me tell you something.
2024.
I was talking to somebody yesterday in a store because I had Rizzo in the I always have Rizzo in the carriage with me now because
Mm-hmm.
she's 15. I don't want to leave her in the car. And I'm telling you, nothing gets a conversation started like an animal. And this gentleman, older gentleman, came up and talked to Rizzo, and he said, "I miss my dog so much." And that's what it is. Dogs really are like our best buddies, and cats, and our animals. There's nothing like it. So Leo, thank you for sharing that. I know that stuff is hard, but yeah, we wanna definitely send that out. So okay, I think it's time for us. Gene Simpson Dunn has joined us. We love Gene Simpson Dunn. Hi, sweetheart. Let's bring our friend Adrian Christian on to share. We're gonna go through a
You go
lots
through
of.
the list. I'm going to bring him on, and I'm going backstage so I can bring up the pictures. That'll be a
Okay,
lot.
honey, that sounds wonderful.
Okay?
Yes, and whatever you can bring up, don't worry about it. Don't.
Okay.
Emery Pleasinger says, "Hi guys, happy New Year." Same to you, Emery. How nice to see you. Look who's here, Adrian Christian. Oh my goodness. Hi, Adrian.
Hello, hello, Maria. Hello, Leo, and happy end of the year and into the 2025. I just, as soon as Leo talked about this, I wanted to pull up my special one who passed in 22, Gianni for 16 years.
Oh my
he was
God,
my
16
everything.
years. That's amazing.
Yeah, and he was with me the whole time since he was a baby. And so, yeah, there's a lot of reflection going on today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things. And it's like sometimes you got to hold your breath so you don't get emotional because it's right here, it's right here. And I think it's been, for the most part, a wonderful year. I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of wonderful things have happened. It's also been a tumultuous year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of uh, roller coaster type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fighting. We were talking about this
Intensity.
yesterday on the phone, you and I, and
Right.
how we don't. And Leo, I know, we've talked. We don't want to engage anymore in
Mm-hmm.
in that stuff. We want to. We as artists, and like I said, I know Leo's busy behind the scenes, but we all feel the same. It's our responsibility now to make as much beautiful art as possible.
Yes.
and to be channels for that as possible. And you're working on a couple projects, Adrian. You
Yeah.
have your Olivia Newton-John
Hmm.
project.
There's a couple of musical projects. Olivia Newton-John is right at the forefront. I know Sudi Rick Caritas is listening, so and he'll crack a whip if I don't say so. But I have that as a priority. I do want to. So her spirit lives on is the lead single to the Olivia Newton-John tribute album, and that's proceeds for that is going to the Olivia Newton-John Foundation for Breast Cancer Research and Plant Medicine
Unbelievable.
for Olivia's legacy. And she was someone who, you talk about people who've left us and what they leave us with in terms of the impression. Like, we don't remember how much money someone has or all of those things. What we remember is, how did they treat us? How were they with other people on earth? And
Absolutely.
I just want to just, I'm reflecting a lot as well, and I've been thinking a lot. I cannot tell you how much I value our friendship, Maria, and you and I and
Me too,
Leo,
honey.
and Leo. You always bringing me into the fold, including me. I know this is what you do. I know you have many other guests on. I know I'm probably not your favorite, but I just wanted to say that
Would
when I
everyone has to be our favorite because otherwise we'd start hurting feelings, and then
I
Dominic
know.
Krupa would start throwing
But
tomatoes.
I will
It's
say that when I come to you guys, it feels like home now. It feels like I'm amongst friends. And
absolutely.
this what's the story with Maria? I was saying to you on the phone is an artistic community of many people who are creative in many different ways. You know, you have your Peter Felicianos, you have your Johnny Tamaros, you have your Mel Englands, your Rick City
Yep.
Caritas, Lupe Carranza. There's so many people that I can spit out and name. Danielle, her spirit, her God-given spirit, her anointed spirit of divinity,
Yep.
um, and all of that is what we'll be talking about in terms of preparing for next year and making sure that we surround ourselves with the beauty that we have in each other, because in the end, when we reflect back and we're looking back at the people that we've lost, we're thinking, what did they mean to us? And that's what this is. So
Yeah.
I don't want to wait for it to be too late. I want to say, Leo, I so love and appreciate you. And Maria, I love you and appreciate
Love
you
you
so
too,
much.
honey. And I feel the same way. I think it's important to
And
tell
now more than
people
ever.
now. Now, you did bring up Danielle, and I do want to shout out Danielle because she was the first
Yes.
one to pop on. So, if Danielle is our friend, she's a spiritual medium, a psychic. She does all kinds of incredible work. She does past life regression. She talks to the other side, and she's incredible. 5 stars, 5 stars.
Every time
And
I listen to her voice, I am touched by her. I am just
uh,
moved by her.
yeah,
I
she's
could feel
really
her.
cool. And if you want to get in touch with Danielle to book anything, her website is daniellealexandriaalchemy.com. I highly, highly recommend it. Okay, so now I have a list of people that Leo sent me this really wonderful video because it's hard to like remember everyone that passed, but this kind
Right.
of covered it. So and the reason that there was so many more than the list that I made, but the reason that I wrote these people down was because they were people that in somehow touched me or my
Right.
life. And if so I'm just going to name them, but a lot of them, you're younger than me, Adrian, and Leo too is younger, but some of these people were on television and stuff like that when I was a
Right.
kid. David Soul of Starsky and Hutch. That
Mm-hmm.
when I think of Starsky and Hutch, those guys were so big.
Hmm.
Jo- Joyce Randolph. She
Oh,
was 99.
I
Trixie.
met her when I was a kid.
You did?
We had the same agent
No.
in New York, Michael Amato.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And she was wearing a tweed suit, walked into the office, and and I was nothing. I was a kid. I was a scrappy child. And she
Wow.
was just so kind to me. She shook my hand and introduced herself to me. Hi, I'm Joyce. And then she was just sharing was going. I mean, I learned early on from a lot of these legendary people that how to conduct oneself, how to behave, and how to treat people.
Yeah,
That I mean,
absolutely.
Miss Randolph was the same as I feel with some of the others.
That is so cool. That is
Yeah,
so cool. Um,
she was classy. She had salt and pepper hair at the time, and
yeah.
she was always she kept her New York City apartment. I understand that.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
pretty sure that
and
she passed away. She was in Manhattan.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Wonderful
Carl
lady.
Weathers, who played Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies.
Oh,
Yeah, so he was famous in the beginning as a villain. Remember, he went up against Rocky, but then he became Rocky's friend. I always
mm-hmm.
loved the Rocky series. As an Italian, I love that series. But Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, Richard Lewis. I forgot about Richard Lewis, comedian, and most. I mean, he was a stand-up comedian, but most famous for his role in Curb Your Enthusiasm. And he died pretty young, 76. I mean,
Wow,
a lot of these people died and they were in their 80s and 90s, but
great talent.
76, he was a great talent. And then Leo pointed out to me M. Emmett Walsh. And I said, wait a minute, I know that name, but how do I? And then Leo said, oh, you know him. He's been in everything. And I looked him up. He was in 119 movies. So this is a character actor that you're going
Right,
to see him over and over and over again
right.
from the 50s, all the way to now, and yet you may not know his name, but you
Mm-hmm.
know his face, and he played so many different roles. So
And he
he
devoted his whole life to this.
right. That's what it is. In order to do that kind of work, you have to be at it every day. Can you imagine? Like that is some intense, intense work. Diana Taylor has joined us. Hi, sweetheart. Catherine Salvio's joined us. Hi, girls. Who else? I'm trying to. I don't want to miss anybody. Dominic Pooper. Okay, we'll see as they pop. Tanya Penn.
We've
Hi,
got an
Tanya.
amazing,
Joseph
amazing group
Brennan, who is
today.
Lynn Porter's Genius's husband. Okay, Lou Gossett Jr. Uh,
Hmm.
Amazing, amazing actor. Uh, many, many films and
Brilliant.
gorgeous as all get out. He was in his 80s. Also an amazing actor. Um, and to do those kind of roles, you have to really be in touch with who you are.
Yes,
You know?
dramatic and comedic. He was versatile.
Yes, absolutely. Um, Let me see. Hold on a second. Danny. Oh, Dabney Coleman, who is also a
Wow.
character actor. You would
Hmm.
most know him as the boss in 9 to 5,
That's right.
but he was in a ton of other things.
He was in On
And
Golden Pond.
was he?
Yes, the Jane Fonda's in love interest.
Wow.
Hmm.
Morgan. Okay, this one I didn't even realize. This is Morgan Spurlock. He was a filmmaker. He's the guy who did Supersize Me. Do you remember that documentary?
Yes.
Well, and I thought he was only 53.
Hmm.
But like we will always remember that movie. And then he did a bunch of other things after that, like exposés, on
Hmm.
certain companies and things like that. So the reason I wrote him down, because it was 2 minutes to write down, is because even if your life is short, it's what you do with it. It's what you leave on this earth that matters, and but I remember seeing him after that movie a lot, like in podcasts and things like that.
Hmm.
Willie Mays of the Giants, he was one of the greatest outfielders of all time. And when he first started to be an African American athlete, was a very different world than it is now. And you had to be better than everyone else, and
Right.
roll with the punches. And
Yeah.
it was not, civil rights was not on everyone's mind. Let's just put it that way.
Exactly. And each person like Willie Mays who contributed something brought the needle forward. And that's
Right.
what we as creatives and artists do, and athletes and people of public persuasion. So it's an incredible contribution. It helps the next
Absolutely.
person.
Absolutely. So I thought that was important. Donald Sutherland. I mean,
Oh,
Which guess what else I learned about him today? He was Canadian. I didn't realize he was
Oh
Canadian.
wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he did my God, how many movies did he make? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and shows that he was on, and he was so distinctive,
And decades.
right? And so when you see him, you almost can't remember any of the movies because he was in so many.
Correct.
Wonderful actor and
Mm-hmm.
always committed to the role. Um, Let me put this down. And then Martin Mull, who I
Yeah.
loved. I
Oh,
mean,
I didn't realize he passed.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you don't so Martin Mull was in Arrested Development. He was in Roseanne.
Right.
He was also in Mary Hartman. That's where I remember him. W what was that? WORP or something like that?
KRP.
KRP Cincinnati. Wasn't he in that? Great comedic actor. He was in a maybe Best in Show, a couple of those.
Yeah.
Incredibly funny man.
And a zillion
Martin
guest
Mull.
spots. And Martin Mull
Absolutely.
also subbed for Carson once.
Did he?
I think in '79.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But so he was one of the ones I was like, "Oh, right." And then
Mm-hmm.
Shelley Duvall,
Ah, bless
who
her.
was in The Shining, of course, but do you
Mm-hmm.
know she did a Fractured Fairy Tale series
Mm-hmm.
that I loved. This was maybe in the 80s. It was really cool on television. She was great. Shows Shelley Duvall, wonderful actress. Dr. Ruth.
Westheimer.
Yes, and she just died recently and she was 96.
Well,
Li- Little tiny person.
she's got the secret, you know? The secret was, she was comfortable with her sexuality. She was
She was so
comfortable with
funny.
her purpose, and she she really was herself. She really
Yeah.
embodied her integrity, her authenticity,
Yeah. Just a
and
little
cared about
tiny
people.
person with an
Amazing.
amazing brain, and it's just it's incredible, right? Just
Yes.
want to check in to see if any Darren Romeo has joined us. Hi, Darren. Darren is an amazing magician and good friend of mine. And okay, Richard Simmons. How
Mm-hmm.
important was Richard Simmons as we were growing up? He was always on television. He could always laugh at himself and make everybody else laugh at themselves, and just take all that seriousness out of
Yes.
fitness, you know,
Yes. Yes, and
and
he
just make
actually
it fun.
genuinely cared about people also. He really did
Yeah,
it because his heart was in it. So
he had
that's what people connect with. And after a certain point when a person's like that, people forget or don't care what his sexuality was, that he was gay or not, or that he was flamboyant or whatever. They loved him.
right.
And so visibility matters. People like Paul Lind, people like him, the people in history, and that's what we need to continue to do. That's why we have to keep going. And I did want to
Wow.
make a mention about 2024. Like, to the listeners, who you guys that are listening right now, who some of you might know me, some of you don't, but I understand that that we we did the best we could. We did everything we could do in 2024.
Yeah,
We did our best. We won
that's a good
some,
way to
we
put it.
lost some,
Yeah, that's a
but
good way
that's
to put it,
life.
Adrian.
And
Yeah,
so we gave it our best, and that's all we can do. That's all
right,
we have to do. Just do
right.
our best.
Then
But
you got to
but
turn it over, as they
right,
say.
it's not time to hang it up. We just keep just taking the next step,
Yeah.
and that's what we're here for.
Yep. Yep. And let's just for a minute. Andy Prasky says um, Martin lived a very green life. His house was completely sustainable. I didn't know that. Thank
Really?
you, Andy. And Andy also says I can claim Richard kissed me on the lips.
Well,
Richard
good for
Lewis.
you.
Well, look at you. Um,
Richard Lewis or Richard Simmons?
Richard Simmons.
well, I'm,
That's what I thought. That's
never
what I thought.
okay. Good to know. Good to know.
No,
Hey,
that's
you never
great.
know. You never know.
Yeah.
Um, well, thank you for sharing that, Andy. Also, very sadly, Shannon Doherty passed away. She
Yeah.
was in 90210
Mm,
and Charmed, and she was only 53.
yeah.
And I'm
Classy
going to
young
go back
lady.
to, right. I'm going to go back to uh, it. if you, because some of these people died 40 years before others, even
Mm-hmm.
more, even let's say
Mm-hmm.
50 years, right? Well, 40, but their life was, people will remember who they were, and not just because of their work, but because of how they conducted themselves.
Right.
You'd see them in interviews, how they
And how
fought
they
their
handled their
battles.
hardships.
Right. She died of cancer and she fought a really hard fight. So I'm sure that's what people will remember. And I
And
think
this
it's
my
very
and your
important.
friend Michael, who is he keeps going, and he's a heart transplant, and God
Yeah,
bless him.
Michael Rizzo.
We'll include him in our prayers, but that's the grace. That's
Yep.
how you handle adversity in your life, how you handle these things.
Yep. And what you pour yourself into, you can, lots of things are choices. You can choose to, I mean, I think we all have to take our time to grieve whatever it is we
Right,
grieve.
process.
Yeah. But I think you see some people dive into helping others,
Hmm.
as a way to
Mhm.
cope. So, um, Bob Newhart passed away. He was 94. He lived an amazing life. But
I
man, was he,
loved him.
oh my God, how could you not? Right?
Hmm.
He was incredible. I watched
Unique.
everything he did. Everything
Maria,
he
may I say, that's what I believe we are here for. We are here on this earth to each one of us has a story. Each one
Yeah.
of us is important. All you guys matter. And each one of us is here to identify who we are and be our true
Yes.
selves.
Absolutely. And you talked about the show being, oh, by the way, Ed Kutu has joined us. He runs Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. We went to high school together. Eddie's amazing.
Hello, Ed.
And Andy Limpus has joined us. Tree Sequoia has joined us. Hi, boys. I agree. You're here for a purpose. And I think it's very important to try to clear the clutter in your spiritual life and try to stay as open
And
as
live
we
your
can.
full potential.
Yep.
Hmm.
Um, okay, speaking of full potential, Gina Rowlands. I
Ah,
mean,
hmm,
how I saw a picture of her when she was younger. Oh my God,
fine actress.
stunning.
Fine
And
actor.
and she aged so gracefully and beautifully, and she always did
Sure.
gorgeous
Hmm.
work. Um, she was, I think, her last. I think, well, she was in The Notebook, but she was in so many movies.
Hmm.
Now, Peter Marshall, like you don't always think about people like Peter Marshall, but he was in The Love Boat and Hollywood Squares. So,
Oh,
right, how many times do you see that face over and over in your past, and the nostalgia of that voice, right? So Peter Marshall, he was 98. That's a nice long life. Phil Donahue,
wow.
88.
Wow.
And he was really a trendsetter. Like there were not a lot of talk shows happening until
Pioneer
his.
and mhm.
Yep, pioneer is that's a good word. And
And
Sarah,
handsome.
you
Mhm.
think
Handsome.
so?
Even to 75, Phil Donahue. I
Yeah.
met him at Marlo Thomas's premiere on was it 48th Street when I was working at Via. Girl, he's tall. He's a big old and blue eyes.
Really?
Yes.
Blue eyes.
Yeah. I
He's
actually had
beautiful.
the privilege of working, volunteering for the GLAD Awards maybe about 20 years ago. And he was, you have each celebrity has a handler. So I had
Mhm.
5 celebrities that I had to handle, as they say. Make sure they're up on stage when they're supposed to be, and
Wow.
if they need anything, you're the person that says 10 minutes you're on, that kind of thing. And he was one of my people, and he was super sweet. Super sweet. Um so Phil John Amos, who was he was in Roots, of course, but
Roots.
If you want to know my dad, all you have well, when my dad was mad at us, all you have to do is look at John Amos when he went, what, Junior?
Wow.
Oh yeah,
right, and he was the dad in Good Times.
Right.
that's what I mean. Those looks.
It's a
Mhm.
temporary layoff, good times. And he was the dad.
He and Esther Roll really were the meat and potatoes, of that whole family dynamic. And Esther Roll had fought for a husband because they were going to do it as a single mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so that was one of the
I didn't
early
know
things. Is
that.
like I gotta have a husband. They have to have a father.
Oh, I love that. I didn't
Because
know
of the
that
black
background.
representation, they were trying to do it without, and so I thought he was doing the Mary Tyler Moore show. See, I'm a classic TV buff. I have all of the
So
collections,
so's
so
Leo.
yeah, so
Leo
I'm
is
into
too.
it.
I
Hmm.
love that story. Thank you for letting us know about that.
Hmm.
She was great. So Lynn Portis is under her husband Joe Brennan's account. It's
Oh,
Lynn. Love you all. Happy New Year, Linny. Uh, now let me see. So we did John. Oh, James Earl Jones. James Earl
mm,
Jones, the voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa, but
fine,
also driving.
fine
Wasn't he the
artist.
driver in Driving Miss Daisy?
Hmm.
And a great Broadway actor,
Hmm.
amazing Broadway actor.
Hmm.
And that voice, that beautiful, distinctive voice. A lot of you are not going to remember this, but she was so big
Legendary.
in my childhood. Mitzi Gaynor. She was an amazing dancer, and she was always on the Carol Burnett show.
I only know about her because of Bob Mackey, and Bob
Okay.
designed. Bob was Robert Mackey, and he was an assistant designer on the Judy Garland show, and he was like a
Wow.
kid. And then Mitzi was the first real show he did that he took over. So before Carol Burnett, and this he was a pre Carol, she was the pre Carol Burnett. She had a show, and Bob Mackey did her clothes. You know.
Wow, that's great. I just listened to the one of Carol Burnett's autobiographies, her most recent one.
Mm.
She's done a bunch, but and it was a lot of it was about her career in show business, and
Another
she
fine
talked.
lady, and thank God she's with us,
Oh my God,
Carol.
incredible, incredible! You talk about a history lesson. I can't remember the
Who
name of
I've met and who I've kissed her hand.
what.
Yeah.
Leo is going to be really
She asked
jealous
me
of
if I
that.
was trying to, ask for an engagement. People have that. I have that effect on people. People think I'm trying to propose marriage. Like just like when I met you, I was so into you, and people were like, "What is he doing with her?" I just love
Well, you're
people, but
Latin. I'm telling you, it's a Latin thing. That whole stereotype of
that's so
Latin lover
funny.
is not
Yeah,
just thrown out there for no reason.
yeah. I met her in the
So,
Museum of Television and Radio.
oh, that's so great. Yeah, and
Hmm.
she was just recently in a HBO Max, I believe, and it was about
Oh yes, a show. Yes, yes.
Miami that was filmed in Miami. I'll think of it in a minute.
Hmm.
Palm
I
Beach. It
forget
was
the
a
name.
Palm
Yes,
Beach,
Palm Royale.
Palm Royale. Oh my
I saw
God.
it.
First of all, I can't say enough about this show. You
It was so
have to
good.
watch. You know who was in it? Speaking of handsome, was Ricky
Mr. Martin.
Martin.
Yes.
Oh my God, he's so gorgeous. I
My
waited on him, by
undocumented
the way.
cousin. I know.
What a lovely human being he is. I waited on him, and he was
Wow.
just lovely many years ago.
Wow.
Okay, so this one made me very, very, very sad.
Hmm.
Terry Garr.
Me too. Me
Very,
too.
very, very sad. I was crazy about Terry Garr. I thought she was one of the funniest and cutest women of all time.
May I also say the consummate professional? There's a string of David Letterman appearances which is hysterical that she's been on because she was trying to learn how to do an interview, and it was just funny to watch her struggle with him and them going back and forth. But there was a chemistry there. But
Yeah.
but truly, the consummate professional actress. Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, and then of course, Did she do Frankenstein?
Yeah, she did Young Frankenstein, my favorite comedy. I mean, Jesus, how can you not love that? I
And
love Mel
Tootsie.
Brooks
Tootsie.
anyway. And Tootsie.
She got a
So,
nomination for that.
yeah, she did. But I mean, if you've never seen Young Frankenstein, please,
Yes.
please do yourself a favor and watch it. You're not going to believe it. Hi, Goldie. Goldie DeVere has joined us. Hi, Maria and Leo. Hi, sweetheart. Goldie, we are going out to lunch in a few weeks. We have to. So much to catch up on. So Goldie has so many great things going on. Go to her page. She has a songwriter series she's doing a million things all the time. Okay, so Kerry Garr, that was really, really, really sad. Tito Jackson passed away. He
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
70, the
Wow.
Jackson 5.
Right.
Um, Dorothy. Oh, this one really, really made me sad. Maggie Smith.
Me
Maggie
too.
Smith. I mean, most people know her from Downton Abbey. However, Maggie Smith's career spans decades and decades and decades. Yes,
Crime
Leo.
of Gene Brody, for which you won
Thank
the
you.
Oscar.
Won the Oscar in the
Wow.
70s, 74 or something like that.
My favorite role she ever played, it was called Tea with Mussolini. Was an
Oh my
amazing
goodness.
movie that Cher
Mm-hmm.
was also in.
Mm-hmm.
And Lily Tomlin. And it was about these women during World War II that lived in Umbria, or
Right.
lived in Italy. I wonder if it was Umbria. I'm trying to, I believe it was Umbria, but they
That's a
were
wonderful
these
movie.
high end women. But
Right.
it's really, really, really good. I
Yes.
put it on your list. Tea with Mussolini, and Cher is in it, and she's fantastic.
And I can't remember if she's in California Suite or not.
I don't
Just
know.
no. But
But
go ahead.
Maggie Smith, wow.
Mm-hmm. Dame
Um,
Maggie Smith.
Dame Maggie Smith, Smith, Chris Christopherson,
Yes. Yes.
amazing songwriter and performer. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't know, but he wrote Me and Bobby McGee, which is
Oh
probably one
no,
of
I
the
didn't know
most
that.
right. A lot of people don't know that. I learned that about a few years ago when I was reading one of my favorite books of all time called Just Kids by Patti Smith. And
Mm-hmm.
she talks about they all hung out, that group of people in the 60s, and Chris Christopherson was literally sitting in her like little hotel room. She was at uh, uh, the Chelsea Hotel, and he had written this new song called Me and
Mm-hmm.
Bobby McGee, and it was
Mm.
shortly after that that Janis Joplin recorded it. So
I think I know
Chris
that from
Christopherson,
Olivia Newton-John, if I'm not mistaken.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he was an amazing songwriter. He was also famous for being many
Mm-hmm.
in movies, and great guy.
He was in The Star Is Born
The
with
star.
Barbara Streisand.
Oh
Right.
my God,
Mm-hmm.
famous, amazing.
And
Um,
Dance with Me with Vanessa Williams. He played the father.
oh really?
Yeah, he had a character role there. Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I miss. Okay, so Ricky Henderson, baseball player, played for many teams, had the um had the most was the best leadoff hitter in baseball history, and had the most stolen bases, 1,406 stolen bases. He played for many teams. He was a wonder to watch. Whether you liked him or not, whether you liked his team or not, you could not take your eyes off of him. So Ricky, and he was fairly young.
Hmm.
I want to say he was 69. So
Wow.
you know,
I
and
didn't
I
know
think he
him.
died of a heart attack. So I now there's a couple. Liam, okay, one. Oh, this is really sad. Liam Payne from One Direction died at 31. He fell from a balcony. So that is a really sad,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, sad story. But this is another one of those stories that got me thinking, even if your time on earth is short, like his contribution artistically was huge. So, and then we have the luxury now of having things recorded, right? So his voice, his
Mm-hmm.
artistry is recorded for all time,
Right. Hmm.
And then Jimmy Carter passed away a few days ago.
That
You
one.
talk about
That
a
one.
humanitarian.
A lot of people feel strongly about this one because he set a tone for the nation, and he really embodied kindness as well and decency. And people remember that. And also, he didn't get the credit you were saying this to me. He didn't get the credit
Absolutely.
he deserved for a lot of the work that was done with the whole the hostages. And so by the time Reagan became president, shortly after that they were released, but he had been working for a
He
whole
had been
year.
working on it and
He was
working on it.
doing, yeah.
And he did so many amazing things behind the scenes while he
Right.
was president that are still in play, that are
He was
still
world peace with
workers'
the
rights.
Shah of Iran. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
also workers' rights,
Yeah.
women's rights, like so many things, health,
And even after his presidency, he continued to
yes.
be this amazing ambassador for peace and for great,
And
for
Habitat for
change.
Humanity, he worked with
Yes.
building homes. He and
Great
Rosalind
humanitarian.
worked with them, and that was a great thing. Jean E. Craigie says, Happy New Year. Hi, Jean. Wishing you much love and happiness.
Happy New
She is a
Year.
friend from my hometown. Diane Cairns, we went to school together. She's my sister's best friend. Happy New Year, Maria. Love you, honey. Um, okay. Now, um, this was huge, huge, huge for me. Quincy Jones. Quincy
Yes.
Jones, I
Yes.
cannot say enough about this. Please read his book. It is called 12 Notes. It is one of the best books I have ever read for musicians. You don't have to be a musician to enjoy the book,
Mm-hmm.
but if you are a musician, you're going to feel like you're really listening to. I listen to the book because I love when, but I'm also going to read it. But I sometimes I listen and I read it. But Quincy Jones had one of the hardest lives as a kid that I've ever read about, and yet he did the greatest. Great, even at 18. Think about this: as an African American child, he was pretty much like on his own. He and his brother at 8 because his mom
Mm-hmm.
was ill and his father was working. And this little boy pretty much raised himself. He taught himself to play the piano.
Mm-hmm.
He broke into an auditorium to
Wow.
play this piano, and he started, and someone kind of caught him, but they were a music teacher and they said this kid's got talent. Then he learned to play every instrument you can imagine, and by 18 he was touring in France, um, because France was much more liberal at the time, and he was doing arrangements at 18. And then Frank Sinatra found him and said, "You're
Right.
incredible. You're going to work with me now. I am hiring you. What do you need to get paid?" And he has produced for everyone. Michael Jackson. I mean,
Right.
so just all the way across. But his
Mm-hmm.
work behind the scenes was so underestimated, and yet so many things that you listen to, you're like, "Oh, he did that. Oh,
Film
he
and
did that."
television scores in history, and he, being a jazz musician, he affected the lives also. He actually made people's lives better. He affected many people in, he opened the door for many people in show business.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. And he was one of those guys that he had success. Well, he worked very hard for it. Nothing was given to him easily, but he pulled other people up.
Hmm.
Maria, I have
Now,
a couple of. Oh, go
yeah,
on.
no, I was going
I
to say, go ahead, Leo.
I have a couple of pictures of people that were not on that list that I sent you that
Yes.
are very important to you and to us. So I would like to share, and I don't have names on them, so I'd like to see if you know who this person is.
Norman Jewison.
Norman Jewison.
Wow.
What did he direct, Maria?
Director. He was a director.
Moonstruck. And also
My
the four,
Maria.
my
I'm
favorite
sorry.
movie of all time, Moonstruck.
Yep, let's see. Okay, I
Wow.
got another one for you. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, well, this one I didn't know, but you knew Maria. I think you
Oh,
met him.
Gavin Creel. Yes. So I met him. What a beauty. He's a Broadway star, gorgeous voice, but everyone that knew him said that he was a beautiful person that
Mm.
shared his heart. I had the pleasure of meeting him at a benefit for the Stonewall Inn. Stonewall Inn Gives Back initiative, where the money raised goes to safe spaces across the world. And he volunteered his time. He was on Broadway at the time. I can't remember exactly what he was doing. I'll think of it, but he came down and volunteered his time. Sarah Bareilles was there. He was there. And oh, wait a minute. Was it this year she died? Why wasn't she on that list?
Mm.
I don't
And
know. That's why I said he left a lot out.
Hmm.
Taylor Swift also donated her time. This
Mm.
was about 5 years ago. So incredible. Oh my God. How much did this person change in the world? Cheetah
Yeah,
Rivera. Oh my God. I can't believe that wasn't on the list. And I remember that we did a whole thing to her on one of
I
our
know.
shows.
Let's
Broadway
see.
giant.
Broadway giant. And just she originated so many incredible roles. And just
Ken
oh
Page.
yes, Ken Page of Ain't Misbehavin' fame.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And our
Mm.
friend Tara Connor Jones worked with him
She got to
recently.
dance with him and sing that song.
Wow.
Oh, with him.
And oh my God, we could go on. And Now, wow, look at that.
Olivia
And
Hussey from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh
that's
yes.
right. How beautiful.
And
And Adrian, I want you to talk about Linda Lavin.
Yeah, Linda, she's been in my heart. A lot of us have been feeling it. A lot of us in the community, in theater and on television, film, we felt the loss because she was 87 and she had just dropped a series on Netflix, and she was working on a Hulu series that the creators of Will and Grace and Ryan Murphy put together. Oh gosh,
All
50
Good Deed? No, I just saw her in
mid-century
All Good.
modern,
Oh,
mid-century
I got
modern.
to write that
It's
down.
so that show is about to air on Hulu, and she filmed 7 of the 10 episodes. There were 3 episodes left to film for the season, and she
Wow.
just similar to John Ritter, like in the midst of working, she had a
Well, she had
late
lung cancer
diagnosis
at
of
the end.
cancer, a lung cancer, but it was recent. It was a recent diagnosis. It was not
Yeah.
known for a long time. I had the fortune of knowing her some years ago, and her our relationship was professional. I was in the hair industry since I was 14 years old. And then when I stopped, I became an administrator. I was working for a salon on Madison Avenue, and we catered to a lot of the theater. Actors and film actors, Glenn Close, Richard Gere, Wallace Shawn, a number of character actors there, and Rue McClanahan, and the Manhattan Theater Club. We did their shows, and so Linda, but out of all of the actors, Linda Lavin was the warmest presence
Wow.
in the salon, and she was so kind to me. I shared with her that I was an aspiring actor, that I wanted to become an actor, and shortly after that, I worked off Broadway, but I went to also see her at work in she was doing the Sisters Rosa Swag, and then she would tell me that she was doing this Arthur Miller play in Florida at the Coconut Grove Playhouse, and then she came back to Broadway and she had won a Tony Award, but she was doing The Tale of the Allergist's Wife, and I went to
Right,
see her
right.
and
Yes,
brought her a bouquet, and it was just watching her work is a masterclass. She
I agree.
completely surrenders herself, brings her complete self into the role to the point where you don't know which is the character and which is her. It's really a
Yes,
complete
and I
abandonment of that.
just saw her like 2 weeks ago in a series that I loved called All Good Deeds or No Good
Mm,
Deeds. No Good
that's the
Deeds.
one that Netflix, right?
Oh my God, she's so good. She
Yes.
plays kind of like a nosy neighbor, kind of
So
not so
that was her
nice.
last series that she was working on, a few episodes of that. So
She
then
was
she was
so
doing this
good
new
in it.
one. So I just wanted to just just tell God, like, thank you, God, for bringing us Linda Lavin into our lives, because there are a lot of people sharing their stories. The playwright for Tale of an Allergist's Wife, he recently did a post on her, and how much she was a friend of the theater, of
Mm,
people in theater, in New York theater and abroad, and she left an impression. She was, I think, nominated for a Tony like 7 times, won one. She
wow.
just was, and of course, we all know her as TV's Alice. Don't want to
Yeah.
forget that, and string of TV appearances. But um, but
But
she was the consummate professional
right.
actor, always prepared, the discipline of that. And she did a lot of good things for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, but
She
she
helped,
worked till the end, and that's the whole,
she never stopped.
this show is celebrates creative people, right? Of all types of creatives.
Yes,
And
yes.
so someone like that, that's why I'm glad that we're ending the show on that. Someone like a Linda Lavin is the embodiment of it's about the work and it's always about the next project, and it's about the work, and that body of work that I talk about, that is, as artists, that is who we are. And whether you do two things in your life, but pack a punch in them, or you
Mm-hmm.
do hundreds of things in your
Mm.
life,
Mm-hmm.
it just focus in on it, and pour your heart into whatever you do creatively, and
It's
it
really
will be
important
remembered.
to, yeah, to really. I was saying about all the artists that come to this show. We artists, our expression is our voice. Whatever the
Hmm.
artistic expression is, we must continue that artistic expression. Don't let that die down. Don't let disappointment change who you are, because no one can change who you are. And I just wanted to also send a collective sigh of breath that we don't have to do anything. We don't have to worry about anything. We don't have to worry about other people. I was just telling you on the phone yesterday, my husband and I, we just cut out cable. We stopped watching cable TV. We stopped watching news.
Yeah, I
Why?
stopped watching the news too.
Because we want to really live our purpose.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is fed by advertising dollars. That's a lot about
Right, right.
to do with
It's
money.
just noise. It gets in the
So
way.
there's an agenda there, so that it's not real. So remember that those things aren't real, but art and life that comes through the artist, no matter if it's a singer, dancer, painter, actor, whatever it is, that's real life. Go out and see real theater. Go out and see live what you do at the duplex, what you do, at Brandy's. All of those things, what Leo does with the children, that is breathing life into life, in
Hmm.
affecting other people's lives. And that's what I want to usher into 2025,
Yep,
because
absolutely.
I want to assure you guys that we are not going to go anywhere. We're going to be okay. And we're going to be okay because we always have, and we know how to band together, and
Yeah.
that makes us stronger.
I want to give a shout out to my very good friend Sylvia Santoro. Sylvia, I love you. We are overdue for lunch. And Sylvia is an amazing person. And yes, I agree with you 100%. So, Leah, why don't you join us? Because we're gonna have to fly out now because our show's come to an end. This hour flew by, of course. But
Flu.
yes, Cheetah Rivera, man, how did I leave her off the list? It wasn't on that thing.
And
She
Leo
was
speaks on
incredible.
gratitude. I want to say something while Leo's coming on, is that, gratitude is about what you have, not about what you don't have. So if we can
Right.
focus on what our blessings are, look who's behind me right here. That's Rita Moreno. I got her for Christmas. The Rita Moreno Barbie. That's what she
Oh my
wore to the
God, that's
Academy
so
Awards.
cool.
Yes, I just got that doll, and Rita's still going, and she
I know.
is
I think she's
in her
93. I
90s.
just got her.
Yes.
I just downloaded her book. I'm gonna
Let's
listen to it.
celebrate that we have her, that we
Yes.
who we we've lost, who we've lost, is that we thank them for their time on earth, but
Yeah.
we have each other, and we're here, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that.
Thank you, honey, and thank you for joining us tonight. Leo, can you join us? I don't know. Maybe he's stuck back there doing other
Yeah, he
things,
could
but
be.
we want to thank everybody. Tonight is the last night of 2024. It was a wild year, but a good year, I think, for the most part. There were some disappointments for some of us, and I'm not going to harp on it. I have
Mm-hmm.
decided, like we were talking yesterday, I'm not watching any more news unless it's local news that I need to know. But I am reading and reading and reading more books.
And
I'm listening,
creating.
and yep, I'm listening to audiobooks. It's so soothing, and podcasts. And I am going to write as many songs as I can this year. It's time. And that's it. I'm detaching from the news. So maybe we've lost Leo back there somewhere because he's doing all these things, but we love and appreciate you. Thank you, Goldie. Thank you, everybody that pops on
for
the show
all
and checks
long
in.
for all lang syne, and for all of the, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet, for the sake of all lang syne.
Hmm.
And 2025 is about to hit us, and we have more to do, more to live. And
Yeah.
I just in a 2-second prayer that we can do here is that, dear, the greatness, the higher power that is over all of us, let us channel into the new year with this newfound creativity, with the creativity that we are given, with the purpose that we are given to be with one another, and let us embrace one another and keep ourselves safe in self-care, in self-love, and we send out this love to all of you for 2025.
Absolutely. Adrian, thank you for joining us. I don't know. Did we lose Leo? That's sad. Um,
Yeah.
all right. Well, maybe he'll pop. We're gonna have to sign out now because otherwise we go over and then it's too long for the podcast. But I also wanted to send a shout out to my dad who passed away in October.
My mom passed away
Okay, so
in
you know
April.
we don't just lose celebrities, we lose people in our lives like Leo talked about. And my dad is the reason I'm in this business because he had such a love of film and music and art, and he got me into theater at 10. So if it wasn't for my dad, he was a DJ, he was a hairdresser, he was an incredible artist. And so thank you, Daddy. And I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you're
Thanks to mom for helping me understand about how to care for someone else, other than myself, and now I carry that and take care of my friends and my loved ones, and let us be there for one another. I thank you, mom, for this time on earth, and I just want to say, Leo, thank you so much. I hope you can hear us, and Maria. Thank you. You know, I love you. I love all of your listeners, your viewers. I'm coming to New York in a few months. I'm
we'll
gonna
have to
get.
hang out. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Come
we'll
to the
hang out,
duplex.
and we got lots to look forward to. That it's going to be an amazing year. It
Yes, it
is.
is.
It
All
is.
right. Well, we love all of you. Thank you for checking in. Have a wonderful new year. We have less than 2 hours to go. Good night, everybody, and God bless.
Happy New Year!